October 2023, the Red Sea. An American destroyer picks up a signal on radar. A drone. Cheap, crude, built for less than the cost of a pickup truck. The order comes down, engage. A missile launches, a flash of fire. The drone disintegrates, mission success. But here's the problem. That drone cost $20,000. The missile that destroyed it, $9.5 million. The US Navy just spent the price of a hospital wing to swat a flying lawnmower, and it's happening again and again and again. By April 2024, the Navy had burned through $1 billion in the Red Sea alone, defending against threats that cost less than a used car. This is not sustainable. This is not strategy. This is financial suicide. But what if I told you there's a weapon that costs $1 per shot? A weapon that never runs out of ammo. A weapon that fires at the speed of light. And it's already here. Before we dive into this story, if you're fascinated by the future of naval warfare and want to stay ahead of the curve, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. We bring you the untold stories of military innovation that shape our world. Now let's get into it. For decades, the Navy has relied on missiles to protect its fleets. Patriot interceptors, SM-6s, SM-3s, cutting-edge technology, deadly accurate, but also devastatingly expensive. A single SM-3 Block 2A costs $28 million. And in modern warfare, the enemy doesn't need to match your firepower. They just need to bankrupt you. Russia launched nearly 8,000 drones against Ukraine in just 2 months. China is mass-producing swarms of autonomous attackers. Iran's proxies flood the skies with cheap, disposable threats. And every time we fire a multi-million-dollar missile at a $20,000 drone, we lose. Not on the battlefield, but in the war of economics. The math is brutal. The cost ratio is 15,000 to 1. But there's a technology that flips the script. A technology that changes everything. And most Americans have never even heard of it. Let me take you back. The year is 2014. A dusty support ship in the Persian Gulf, the USS Ponce. On its deck sits something strange. Not a missile launcher, not a gun turret, a boxy contraption, cables snaking everywhere. Looks almost improvised. It's called LAW-WS, the laser weapon system, and it's about to change naval warfare forever. Inside that box, 6 commercial welding lasers, off the shelf, the kind you'd find in a factory, strapped together, aimed at the sky, 30 kilowatts of focused energy. And sailors? They controlled it with something that looked like an Xbox controller. That December, LAW-WS went operational. It tracked a drone, locked on, fired. 2 seconds later, the drone dropped into the sea. Cost of engagement, 59 cents. Not 59,000, not 5,900, 59 cents. The cost of a can of soda. And it worked, again and again. It disabled boats, detonated grenades, burned out engines. It worked in dust storms, in high humidity, in the brutal heat of the Gulf, and yet you never heard about it. Why? Because LAW-WS was a prototype, a proof of concept. The Navy knew they had something, but they also knew this was just the beginning. So they went back to the drawing board. And what came next was even more terrifying. Here's what most people don't understand about laser weapons. For decades, they were dismissed as fantasy. Too bulky, too expensive, too unreliable. The laws of physics seemed to work against them. Atmospheric turbulence, thermal blooming, power demands. Every expert said the same thing. Lasers will never scale. But then a breakthrough. A breakthrough that almost no one outside the defense world knows about. Researchers discovered they didn't need one massive laser. They could combine dozens, even hundreds, of small fiber lasers. Cheap commercial units, the kind used in welding and manufacturing, each one emitting a fraction of the power. But together, they became a weapon. Lockheed Martin proved it. 96 fiber lasers, each producing 300 watts, combined into a single beam, 30 kilowatts. 95% efficiency. And here's the kicker. You can keep adding lasers. 50, 100, 1,000. More power. Same cost structure. Linear scaling. No physical limits. The industrial base already exists. Tens of thousands of these lasers are manufactured every year. For cutting metal, for 3D printing, for factories. Military-grade lasers, they're just riding the wave. As the commercial market grows, the cost drops. This is the opposite of missiles. Missiles get more expensive every year. Lasers get cheaper. And the Navy didn't stop at 30 kilowatts. In 2021, they installed HELIOS on the USS Preble, 60 kilowatts, fully integrated with the ship's Aegis combat system, the first laser weapon that could talk to the brain of a warship. Target tracking, threat prioritization, automated engagement. It could dazzle sensors, burn through hulls, destroy drones at 6 miles out, and it cost $1 per shot. But they're not stopping there. HELCAP is in development. 300 kilowatts, designed to destroy anti-ship cruise missiles. Songbao, 400 kilowatts. And there's one more, the free electron laser, 10 10 kilowatts right now, but it's tunable, adaptable, unprecedented. It ran continuously for 24 hours, 98% uptime, the most reliable directed energy weapon ever built. This isn't theory. This isn't science fiction. This is real. This is operational. This is now. So why does this matter? Let me paint you a picture. Imagine a U.S. destroyer, alone in contested waters. Suddenly, radar lights up. Not one contact, not 5, 96 drones, swarming, coordinated, converging from every direction. Under the old rules, that ship is dead. It has maybe a dozen surface-to-air missiles ready to fire. Even if every shot is perfect, it can't stop them all. And after those missiles are gone, the ship is defenseless. Game over. But now add a laser, HELIOS, 60 kilowatts, locked and loaded. The first drone enters range. The laser fires. 3 seconds. Target destroyed. Retarget. Fire. Another down. Retarget. Fire. Another. Half a second between shots. No reloading. No resupply. Just power. Pure electrical power. As long as the ship's reactors run, the laser keeps firing. 20 drones. 50. 96. It doesn't matter. The laser doesn't care. This is the new math. In the old equation, the attacker wins through saturation. Overwhelm the defender. Drain the magazine. Victory. But lasers, they break that equation. Unlimited magazine. Light speed engagement. $1 shots. The attacker needs 1,000 drones to guarantee a kill. And that changes everything. This is why Admiral Daryl Caudle said the Navy should be embarrassed by how slow the transition has been. This is why the UK accelerated Dragonfire from 2032 to 2027. This is why 4 British warships will carry lasers within 2 years, because the world has figured it out. Cheap threats, expensive defenses, that's the trap. And lasers, they're the way out. But here's the part no one talks about, the part that should terrify every adversary. Laser weapons don't just defend, they dominate. Think about hypersonic missiles, Mach 25, faster than anything we've ever faced. Kinetic interceptors, they need to fly at Mach 75 just to catch them. Impossible. But a laser? A laser travels at the speed of light, 299,000 kilometers per second, 35,000 times faster than a hypersonic missile. The engagement isn't even a contest, it's instantaneous. And here's the hidden advantage. Hypersonic missiles are vulnerable during boost phase. When they're climbing, accelerating, exposed, space lasers could hit them before they even reach their target, before they become unstoppable. But there's more. The real game changer isn't just the weapon, it's what it does to warship design. For centuries, ships were built around guns, then missiles, then aircraft. But the future? The future is power, electrical power. The next generation of warships won't be defined by how many missiles they carry. They'll be defined by how much electricity they generate. A ship with 100 megawatts of power, that's a floating fortress. Lasers for close defense, railguns for strike, electromagnetic aircraft launchers, all powered by the same grid. And here's the beautiful irony. While our enemies scramble to build more drones, more missiles, more cheap threats, we're building ships that turn fuel into firepower. Drop of fuel becomes a weapon. That's what Vice Chairman Admiral Christopher Grady said, and he's right. The industrial base is there. The technology is proven. The economics are undeniable. This isn't a question of if, it's a question of how fast. Now, let's be clear. Lasers aren't magic. They have limits. Fog, rain, heavy clouds. These degrade laser performance, sometimes severely. Lasers work best in clear conditions. Line of sight, no obstructions. A missile, it doesn't care about the weather. And power demands, they're real. A 300 kilowatt laser needs almost a megawatt of input power. That's a massive draw on a ship's electrical grid. The Navy will have to make trade-offs. Rear Admiral Ronald Boxall said it plainly. We'll have to remove something or manage power aggressively. Nothing comes for free. And lasers today, they're proven against drones, small boats, helicopters, but hardened cruise missiles, that's still being tested. HELCAP is designed for that mission, but it's not operational yet. The timeline? Late 2000s. Maybe. So no, lasers won't replace missiles. Not entirely. The future is layered defense. Lasers for the close fight, the cheap threats, the swarms. Missiles for the long-range kill, the all-weather backup, the high-value intercept. Both systems working together. That's the strategy. That's the future. So here's what you need to remember. The era of expensive, limited defense is ending. The era of light speed, unlimited firepower is beginning. For the first time in history, defense is cheaper than offense. A $1 shot defeats a $20 million missile. That's not an advantage. That's a revolution. And it's happening now. 8 American destroyers already carry laser dazzlers. One carries a combat-ready 60 kilowatt hard kill system. The UK is racing to field Dragonfire by 2027. France, Germany, Israel, they're all in the game. And China, Russia, they're watching. And they're worried, because this changes the balance of power. Not through bigger bombs, not through more ships, but but through physics, through economics, through the speed of light itself. The future of naval defense isn't louder, it's silent, it's invisible, it's a beam of focused energy that travels faster than thought, and it belongs to those who innovate, to those who adapt, to those who refuse to fight yesterday's war. The oceans are vast, the threats are many, but America's Navy, it doesn't run out of bullets, it runs on light, because the future isn't just about weapons, it's about will, and the courage to rewrite the rules of war itself. If this deep dive into the future of naval warfare opened your eyes to what's really happening on the cutting edge of military technology, don't keep it to yourself. Hit that like button, share this video with someone who needs to see it, and subscribe to Civic Shadows for more untold stories of American power and innovation. Drop a comment below and let me know what naval technology you want us to cover next. Until then, stay vigilant.